We'll get started in just a minute, guys. I was just waiting to see if anyone else was going to pop in. In the meantime, you can go ahead and do today's attendance/participation quiz if you like. And that is located, here we go. Perfect. That is 6914 is your code today, 6914.
I have a quick question. You in the data that I have, well, my study says 60 participants, but the data has 70 participants. So should I just?
Yeah, so that happened with a number of you guys, and that's a great question. What you want to do is just go ahead and adapt to whatever your data says. And, you know, in all cases, I gave you at least as much data as you asked for. Sometimes I gave you more. So that's a good thing. And you just adapt and say, we actually were able to get more participants than planned. Here's my N.
Okay, so I don't have to change like the initial part where I said the amount of participants that I had?
No, it would just be later on in your results.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, sure. Okay, so a couple people just joined, so I want to just let everyone know that that code again is 6914. And what I wanted to do with you guys today, and I know some of you are wanting to meet with me and haven't done so yet. So, you know, you may not have all of your data to play along in real time, but you have my data to play along with. So what I'm going to do is go through, show you how you would both interpret and write up data. So to that end, what I did is I went ahead and posted on D2L under the results section a PDF of the output file that we created last time. And I also posted this, sorry, something got a little bit extra here. This results template that has results for both a t-test and for an ANOVA. And what I did to this results template, because I had posted this before, is I changed it so that it would match precisely what was in the output. So that way, as I talk through this, you can kind of follow along. So my only disappointment is I'd like to be able to share both the output with you and the results template with you side by side, but I can't see a way that Zoom will let me do that. So what I'm going to ask is that you go ahead and open that PDF file so that I can talk through that. And I'll leave open this ANOVA results template. And I think between the two of those, that would work. What I recommend for you guys is that once you get your results, go ahead and I can either show you if we're working one-on-one or what have you, or I can show you at the end of this little piece that we're going to do here, how to convert it to PDF or just print it out to a printer. It'll make your life a little bit easier when you're going to write things up rather than trying to flip back and forth between two screens. That's just my thought on that. So let me give you a moment to do that. And at the same time, what I'll do is excuse me one second. I'm just making a copy of this so I can flip back and forth with you and show you both pieces as best I can. so that you can kind of see what we're doing. And if you just have one of those open, you should be in good shape. Yep, so what I'm asking you to do for right now is go ahead to D2L, go to content, go to the results section, and then go ahead and open, go ahead and open up that PDF file that says cross-species intelligence data results, or data output, I should say. Cross-species intelligence output. And then you should be able to follow along with me as we go through this. And then you can switch over to the Word document as we go through that. So let's start at the top. And if you follow along, if you either were able to follow along last time, or if you meet with me and follow along this same process that I outlined to you together, you will have the same setup of your output that I have for mine. So you should be able to follow this precisely. And I'll go ahead and I did post the last meeting we had together. I'll post this one too. Okay, just in case you want to look back at it. So let's start off with the t-test. Let's pretend we're going to do a t-test. So we start off with our IV. And our IV in this case is species classification. Think about what your IV is, right? You each have your own independent variable. Whatever that is will be the first thing that probably appears at the top of your output as well. And you're going to have two categories for it, like I have two categories here. The pieces that I'm interested in here, and I don't think I gave any of you missing data, but just to be on the cautious side, we'll say is the N, the frequency, and the valid percent. Frequency, valid percent. So in the write-up, the way I would write this up is I would say, amongst the participants, 46% were Vulcan, N equals 23, and 54% were human, N equals 27. So that's where I'm getting those numbers from. And I'll show you I'll switch over to the write-up now so you can see that. Amongst the participants, 46% were Vulcan and 54% were human. Okay, so now we go on to the next piece here. Which is the DV, which we have to go down till we get to the descriptive statistics to find our DV, whatever our dependent variable is. If you remember, your dependent variable for all of you guys was something continuous. So in this case, it was the cross-species intelligence test that we used for our DV. And we start off the next sentence by saying the participants' cross-species intelligence test scores ranged from 550, the minimum, to 780, the maximum, with a mean of 680 and a standard deviation of 63.73. Okay. And you don't have to worry too much about how many decimals if you just follow my pattern, right? I will tell you that for most calculated things, we're using something that has 2 decimals, okay? And we're kind of doing that pattern throughout. But if you just follow what I've laid out here, you'll be fine. Okay, so that's how you'd write that next. Okay, so then we want to go on and do just a couple of demographic variables. Now, I had you all create 3 because I want you to have something extra in the bag just in case one of them, you don't like. It's a little hard to describe. It has a lot of categories, that sort of thing. So even though I have preferred color and marital status and all these I'm only going to use, for this particular example, gender and age. So it is nice if you can choose one categorical one and one continuous one. And for most of you, you decided to go ahead and do something like gender, age, year in school. So you might choose age as one of them, and then either gender or year in school is the other. Okay. So then we start off and we say the next sentence, in addition, amongst the participants, 64% were female, n equals 32, and 36% were male, n equals 18. And if you had more categories, you would just go on from there and say, and this percent, n equals so-and-so were this, and this percent were this, n equals so-and-so. So you would just go on in the same way using valid percent and frequency. I also then talk about age. So that's right here with descriptives. And I say the age of the participants range from 22, which goes right here, 22 to 45. And I report the mean and standard deviation again. Mean equals 27.54, standard deviation equals 5.07. Okay. Now, the next paragraph, you can take almost wholesale. You can take almost completely it doesn't have any numbers. We just got to sub in your IV and your DV. So all data were analyzed using an independent samples t-test with species, Vulcan human, as the independent variable and cross-species intelligence test as the dependent variable. So whatever your IV and DV is, you just substitute that in. An alpha level of 0.05 is used for all statistical tests. So that sentence you can use just as is. Now the next sentence starts off with, it will be recalled that. This goes right back to your introduction to your hypothesis. What did you say in your hypothesis? What did you predict there? And that's what you're going to put here. So I'm saying it will be recalled that the Vulcans are expected to have higher cross-species intelligence test scores than humans. And then I'm going to report my result. Okay, so now I'm ready for my t-test. So I go down to my t-test, which starts here. Okay, it's a little bit on the longer side, but we'll just, it looks a little shorter in SPSS and a little longer in PDF format. So then I say that the Vulcans did have higher cross-species intelligence test scores. Mean equals 723.04. Standard deviation equals 47.81. Then the humans, mean equals 643.33. Standard deviation equals 51.81. Now I need to report my T. Okay. So I'm going to show you how this works. What you want to do is at the very top, you'll see this thing called Levene's test for equality of variances. Look at this sig value. I think for most of you who are doing a t-test, it's greater than 0.05 because most of the time it works out to be greater than 0.05. If it is greater than 0.05, you get to use this t value, this df value, and this sig value. If, however, it's less than 0.05, which did happen on occasion, you use this t value on the bottom, this df on the bottom, this sig value on the bottom. Now, as you can see with this particular sig value, it is higher than 0.05. So I'm going to use the top set of values. And I'm going to say T parentheses 48 equals 5.62. That's where it's coming from right here. comma, P less than 0.001. Now you might be wondering, why did I just make that change? Why didn't I just say P equals 0.000? Or maybe you recall from Sci 245 that we talked about the idea that whenever you have a 0.000, you always report it as P less than 0.001. Okay, so if you have a 0.000, you should report it as P less than 0.001. Let's say you don't have that. Let's say you have 0.042. Now then, the one other question you have to ask yourself is, well, did I make a one-tailed hypothesis or two-tailed? And I would say the great majority you made one-tailed hypotheses for those of you doing t-tests. Now, ANOVA is going to be a little different, but for t-tests, most of you made one-tailed hypotheses. In other words, you made a directional claim. You said this would be higher than this, or this would be lower than that, or so on and so forth. If you just said A would be different than B, that's non-directional. That's two-tailed, and you just report the p-value as is. But if you made a one-directional claim, a one-tailed claim, then you get to divide this sig value by 2. So as opposed to reporting 0.042, you get to report 0.021. And that's the only math you have to do for reporting the t-test. Okay. And then the last sentence that you have to write is the hypothesis that Vulcans would have higher cross-species intelligence scores than humans appears to receive. And if you did have a significant finding in the correct direction, you would say appears to receive strong support. Or if you did not have a finding either in the correct direction, or you did not have a significant finding, you would say it does not appear to receive strong support, or it does not appear to receive support. So if you are doing an independent samples t-test, if you are doing the t-test, that's it for you guys. That's all you have to write up, is that first half of that page. I am now going to go on and talk about what's slightly different for the ANOVA. Okay, all right. So for the ANOVA, basically the first paragraph is going to be very much the same, except you'd have 3 categories for species. And I'll show you that real quick. We go back up to our species. Here's the one with 3 categories. And it's the same approach. I'd say 32% were Vulcan, n equals 16. 28% were Martian, n equals 14. And 40% were human, n equals 20. The rest of the next few pieces are exactly the same. So I'm going to move on to the second paragraph. Now, once again, this is that paragraph that you mostly take wholesale, and you just have to sub in your IV and DV. All data were analyzed using a one-way ANOVA with species, whatever your 3 groups are, as the independent variable, and cross-species intelligence test, whatever your DV is, as the dependent variable. Post hoc analyses were completed using Tukey's HSD. That's true for all of you. And an alpha level of 0.05 is used for all statistical tests. That's true again for everybody. So once again, we get into that. It will be recalled that it was expected there would be differences. Now, for you guys doing the ANOVA, we're not going to worry about directionality too much, even if you made a directional claim, because that gets a little bit complicated. So we're just going to treat everything as difference. So it will be recalled that it was expected there would be differences amongst the species in terms of cross-species intelligence scores. Okay, so let's look at what our ANOVA actually says. Did this hold water? Did this get support? So we go all the way down to the ANOVA piece, which is down here. And here is the descriptive piece with all of our means and standard deviations. And I want to know if I had a significant difference though, right? So I go down here to my ANOVA. This part's a little more straightforward than the t-test because we only have one sig value to look at. We look for this ANOVA table. It says ANOVA on top. And we look at the sig value and we're trying to decide if that's less than our alpha of 0.05. In this case, it is. It's 0.008. Great. So we know that there's a difference somewhere. Now, where's the difference? For that, we do have to look at these post hoc tests. And you'll see there's basically 6 lines here. We're comparing Vulcan to Martian in the first line. And all we need to do is look at the sig value, 0.626. Not significant, not less than 0.05. Okay, so there's no difference between Vulcan and Martians. Next, we look at Vulcan. We pretend that's written again, right down here. And human, 0.007. Okay, now there is a significant difference. Great, so there is a difference between Vulcans and humans. Take a note of that. Now, Martian and Vulcan, well, we just looked at Vulcan and Martian. This is the same thing. So we can skip line 3 and we go directly to line 4. Martian and human, 0.103. Nope, getting close, but not less than 0.05. So that one's not significant either. So the only significant difference we have are Vulcan and humans. So now all we want to do is go back up to our descriptives and see who came out higher. Well, Vulcans had 710.63 and humans had 648. I guess the Vulcans win. They came out higher. And with that information, we can write, the ANOVA showed that the effect of species was significant. And I'll show you how you write up that F. F, parentheses, 2, 47 equals 5.38, comma, P equals 0.008. And you do not have to worry about dividing this p-value. You just leave it as is. Then you can say post hoc analyses using Tukey's HSD indicated that the average cross-species intelligence score was significantly lower among humans N equals 648, SD equals 42.13. Then in the Vulcans, N equals 710.63, SD equals 52.72. And then as we notice, no other significant differences were found. The hypothesis that there would be differences among species in terms of cross-species intelligence test scores appears to receive strong support. So even if you just get one difference, that still gets strong support. Now, there was one person who proposed 4 different categories. That gets a little bit tough, so I did condense that down to 3 for you. Everyone else who either proposed 2 for the independent samples or 3 for the ANOVA, so everyone's in good shape for this. Okay, so that's the main walkthrough that I wanted to go through with you guys to show you how you interpret the data and how you can turn the data into a write-up. And I hope it's helpful that you have the exact output that matches the write-up so you can try to replicate it for your own. So at this point, we have 25 minutes left. If you are satisfied that you are feeling good about things, or you know you're meeting with me or something like that, and you want to take off, please take off. If you'd like to stick around and get some assistance with anything, please feel free to stick around. I wish you a wonderful day, and if I don't see you on Friday, a wonderful break.
Could you please go back to the attendance screen? Because I missed that. I was a little bit late.
Oh, yeah, no problem. It's 6914.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, sure. Okay. All right, I think those who left, who are planning to leave, have left. I'm just bumping this. Okay, we're getting there. So I'm just bumping this out so I can see who remains. If you'd like me to go over something, if you want some help, like showing me your screen or something, you know, as long as you don't mind if other people see, we can do that. I'll open it up to chat or to asking me something. So if you'd like to do that, please go ahead.
Hi, Dr. McKibben.
Hi.
I was wondering if I couldn't really follow along and type up my results section at the same time. Do you think I
Sure.
could you think I could give that a try and then reach out to you for help if I'm struggling?
Absolutely. Yes, of course. And that goes for everyone if you'd like to give it a try. And if you noticed, I am going to have hours available tomorrow as well as on Friday. So please feel free to take advantage if you'd like to do that. But yeah, give it a try. And then, of course, reach out if you're struggling.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Have a
Of
nice
course. You too.
I was going to try, I'm still trying to open my data because I forgot to meet with you, of course.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not even letting me log into RamCloud right now.
It's not letting you log into RamCloud. Oh no.
Yeah,
Let me
it's
see if
absolutely-
RamCloud is having a problem. Give me one
Okay.
second. On my end, at least, right? So.
On RamCloud, and it doesn't seem to be having a problem for me personally, so I don't know if that changes anything.
That is helpful to know. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, because the last time everyone was having a problem with RamCloud. Let's
It
just
says
see
you
what's going
cannot
on.
log in at this time. Please close your browser to protect your account.
That's weird. And you're going through WCUPA, right?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. And what browser are you using?
Google Chrome.
Okay.
Everything with Chrome. Like I've never had a problem like this before.
Yeah, it's opening fine for me too. I use Firefox. You could try using Firefox, or you could try using I think you said you had a like Safari if you'd like. So you could try one of those options. Or you could try always, I mean, the other option is always restarting your computer. If none of those work though, I would definitely reach out to IT and see what they can do for you. Okay. And
when is your where are your office hours?
yeah, they're on if you go to the syllabus and you go to the very top, it has a link to my office hours, but I'm offering, so my next set of office hours is on Friday from 11 to 1. However, I'm also offering some additional hours tomorrow and probably some additional hours on Friday as well.
Tomorrow, what time? Because I have a lab until 2.
Until 2? Yeah.
12:40, and we're not done until 2.
Do you have any time before the 12:40?
Yeah. How early does your hour start?
So I can meet you at, let's see, tomorrow, Thursday. I can meet you at either 10 or 11 tomorrow.
11 should be fine.
You want to meet at 11?
Yeah, I should be back home by 11.
Okay, perfect. Let's plan to meet at 11 tomorrow then. And I will send you
my phone out so that I don't forget.
Okay, sounds like a plan. I'll send you a link, a Zoom link, so you can join me at that time.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Have a nice day.
You too. Bye.
I just need another quick question, Professor McKibben. I think I made an office hours appointment with you at 12:45 on Friday. Can you confirm that? Because I'll just ask you a question about the results section then, because I already had other questions like regarding the presentation. It shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, of course. And I do remember you having an office hours appointment for me on Friday. So
Okay, awesome. I'll just talk to you then about the questions that I have.
yeah, I'll just confirm the time with you right now while I have you. Yep, I have you down for 12:45.
Okay, awesome. I'll see you then. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Of course.
Dr. McKibben, I can't recall if there's like the recorded Zoom meeting about how to open the zip file for the data.
There is, but if you'd like to take a few minutes right now and talk through how to open data, we can do that. It's up to you.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. I opened my data and I kind of just clicked through and I'm pretty sure I hit a button wrong because it does not look like there's much to show.
Okay, okay. So let me stop sharing my screen, and would you mind sharing yours?
I do not. Let me go ahead and do that.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, it's asking me for permission. I'm at my work computer, so I don't have everything set up yet.
Oh, okay, no problem. It does that with SPSS a lot, though, when you're using the RAM cloud, and you always want to click yes. I give myself permission to actually view and modify my own data.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I think SPSS is making my computer a little slow.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so it's making me quit, so I might actually not be able to do that, but maybe, hold on a minute.
Is it making you quit SPSS?
No, we're good, actually. I think am I doing it?
Perfect. Yeah, yeah. That's cool, but that's definitely not the data I gave you.
Yeah, I think I have, when I open the data on my computer, hold on.
Okay.
So I open it as a zip file.
Oh.
Is that because I downloaded all of them at the same time? Should I download them separately?
Yes, yes. So you only need your data set.
Okay, so I thought there were 3 different things to download on the email. Is that I should only download one?
On the email. So if you go to D2L, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
you go to content and then you go to data. So let's try that.
Oh, okay. I thought it was emailed to me. Never mind. Okay.
And then there's yours. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, then I think I just downloaded the wrong thing. I think that was my issue.
That might be it then. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So you
Well,
download
thank you so
that, and then once you have it downloaded, you go to File, Open, and you open it from where it's downloaded. But we can do that if you'd like, or if you think you're okay, that's fine too.
Let me try it, and then maybe I can set up an appointment with you if it doesn't work for me.
Of course.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Of
Okay.
course. Yeah. It sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Okay. You're very welcome.